We in Huntington Park, California with it via Atlanta Black Star on January 26, 2023. Police respond to a call about a reported stabbing and encountered Anthony Lowe, who matched the suspect's description dispatchers got from the 911 caller. When responding officers Paul Munez and Joshua Volskis directly confronted Lowe, Lowe tried moving away, but one of them grabbed the back of his wheelchair and dumped him onto the ground, the family lawsuit states. According to the judge's ruling, a knife also fell out of that wheelchair, which Lowe grabbed after he righted himself onto the ground and kept moving away from the officers. The judge's ruling states that the officers took aim at Lowe with stun guns and firearms, and Lowe died after being struck by multiple bullets. Days after the shooting, police said that Lowe ignored verbal commands and threatened to advance or throw the knife at the officers. So basically, police encounter a man in a wheelchair. They've been called that someone with a knife had stabbed someone. They came out to obviously do their due diligence. They discover a man in a wheelchair. They grab him, toss him out of his chair. A knife falls out of the chair along with him. He gets himself up. He's pushing back. He's like it's like I don't know what he's doing. He's pushing himself back. It says
he's using his arms to get away because he has no legs. But the important thing is that he does pick up the knife, but he's moving away from the officers.
So I'll continue. Officers deployed 2 separate tasers in an attempt to subdue the suspect, but the tasers were ineffective. The statement said the suspect continued to threaten officers with the butcher knife, resulting in an officer-involved shooting.
Now, that was what the police said. Mm-hmm. That was a police statement, which was a lie. Because now, since then, because it's important, the footage we have is not body camera footage. It's surveillance footage and cell phone footage from a witness.
Mm-hmm. It says here, however, as Joffer was just saying, cell phone video taken by a passing motorist shows Lowe grabbing the knife and hobbling away from the police while the officers have their weapons drawn. Surveillance footage also shows the moment when an officer threw Lowe from his wheelchair onto the sidewalk and when Lowe began distancing himself from the cops. The family's complaint states that Lowe was suffering a mental health crisis at this time, as he was still grappling with the recent amputation of both his legs. He was supposed to receive prosthetics the month after he was shot and killed. The family contends that even though Lowe was holding a knife during the encounter, he kept retreating from officers who were more than 6 feet away from Lowe when force was used. They argued that Lowe posed no imminent threat to their safety or the safety of the public before he was fatally shot. Testimonies from a witness and another police officer corroborated the family's claim that Lowe wasn't a danger to the public. The witness testified that he saw Lowe being knocked from his wheelchair and that he was scared trying to escape. The court agrees with the plaintiffs that the video footage does not demonstrate objectively reasonable police conduct as a matter of law. Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Virginia Kinney ruled the video does not clearly show Lowe threatened the officers with a knife. A civil trial has been scheduled for January 12th, 2026, where a jury will decide whether the officer's use of force was reasonable or reckless. The family's legal team said family members are looking forward to the trial. So yeah, that is
holy shit, a completely holy shit story. So that was from Atlanta Black Star, and yeah, the man who's now dead, Anthony Lowe. Rest in peace to Anthony Lowe. It doesn't get more insane, absurd than a man in a wheelchair getting thrown out of the wheelchair, then trying to run. You can't even use the word run, trying to get away from the police with no legs, and they shot him 11 times. And, I can't even it's crazy no matter what, but, just trying to put myself in the cop's shoes where you're shooting at someone, but they gotta aim down. Just that feeling, knowing you're aiming down at the ground because the man has no legs.
Yeah, and it's it's always deadly force. I know they said they used tasers twice and they were ineffective. I'm like, what does that even?
But that's bullshit. I think that's what the cops said.
Yeah, that's what cops.
It's he's running. He's trying to get away from them.
Yeah, and cops are going to they're going to use violent force and then try to position themselves as they were being threatened. And
yes,
it's just always the absurdity of how they. It always comes out absurd them trying to explain their side
exactly.
When they kill or harm someone who's already a person who doesn't pose as much of a threat as they like to say, like claim they do. Like
I mean, how cartoonishly racist do you have to be to where like a black man with no legs who's running away from you is somehow still scaring you enough to where you just have to start unloading a clip?
Yeah,
11 times he was shot in the back.
In the back is crazy. I do want to see that defense from that cop though, because there's no defense. They're like, nah, you gotta understand though. It was like that shit was a scary wheelchair, bro. That was like you ever seen Wild Wild West?
Yeah.
You know Loveless? Man, it was like that. I thought a big ass robot machine was going spider. You ever seen Wild Wild?
I have not.
Damn, dog, it sucks. You don't get my reference.
I did not. I thought it was funny, the mere fact that you are mentioning Wild Wild West in this story.
Well, that's because...
So you got to laugh off of just like, this is just whatever Ashley's doing right now is hilarious.
Because if you got the visual of who the bad guy is in Wild Wild West, you'll know he's a guy in a wheelchair, but then at the end, the wheelchair, it don't turn into...
It's Will Smith, right?
Will Smith's a good guy. He's a good guy.
I mean, the movie, right?
Yes,
I remember like the song on the radio.
Yeah, and then the
Wild Wild West.
The ending to Wild Wild West.
This is what was playing in your head while you're reading this article.
What I'm trying to think of, like, what's a scary wheelchair? Then I was like, Loveless. That shit was terrifying.
Sure.
Anyway, there's a giant spider mech in Wild. It comes out of nowhere in Wild Wild West. Anyway. But
yes, but like, I mean, your Wild Wild West reference. I mean, like, it is the point you're making is very valid of like this, because the news here, like this story is like about a year old now. Like the incident that happened is, I don't know, 2024, 2023. But the news here is that a judge has dismissed the police want this to be tried in a civil court with no jury. And so the judge has been like, yeah, no, this is going to criminal court. You're going to stand trial. And this is the cop's worst nightmare because, as you just illustrated, they are going to have to defend themselves in court.
There's just no way it doesn't look stupid. There's just no, I mean...
It's just a fucking insane story.
You just read the story and just there's no way to like not... Especially when you have witnesses that go against the police's own stories. That's... Of course, the police are always going to come out and be like, it was the most dangerous wheelchair I've ever seen. Like, so it's going to be interesting. It is going to be funny watching them try to defend this bullshit.